Hey guys, after getting fed up of the tutorials, or well, rather lack thereof, for the Torque Solutions rear differential bearings, I decided to make my own. So let's get going. So I'll make it real quick and short. What they're talking about is they're talking about the rear diff bushings in the diff mount bracket, not the diff mount that's in the subframe. So it's this piece here that's on the underside of the car, and it goes right where those studs are. It's on the back of the diff mount, so it's not here. It's back where the diff mounts, right back where the drive shaft goes into the rear diff. So everything there is a 14mm bolt. It's literally 4 bolts. The bracket drops right out. That's the easy part. Now you got the bracket out. Now you got to get everything out of the bracket. So as you can see, got myself some nice bushing collars and everything. So what you do, just get yourself a little vise, get your bracket. I've already got my bearings installed, or my bushings installed rather. So basically all you do is, I started with a drill. So use a drill and go all around the outside of the bearing, or the bushing rather, I keep calling it a bearing, and create this. The other side is really nasty and it's greasy. It's filled with grease. So basically you're going to drill each one out. After you drill it out, you can also use a Sawzall. Sawzall work great, but it's basically hammer the rubber insert out of the inside. Now you're left with the bushing collar. The easiest way I found to do that is basically take a Sawzall, cut it at a straight angle. I put it in my vise here, and just angled my Sawzall kind of like that, and cut it with my Sawzall. And then get yourself some type of pry tools. I got an old broken screwdriver, a smaller screwdriver. Basically use a hammer and hammer the hell out of them. Be careful, it is aluminum. You will damage the bracket, as I did a little bit. But anyways, once you get that all out, basically bend the collar, mangle the collar up and whatnot to make it just a little bit smaller. It'll slide out. Now you got both collars out. Now what I did is to smooth out the rough edges or any burrs I made, took a Dremel tool with a little sander, went inside all the holes here and went around it, made sure all my burrs were gone, put my pieces back in, and now you'll literally reinstall it. So the uninstall, jack it up by the rear diff, put your jack stands under it, take your four 17mm bolts out, drop the bracket, bring the bracket to your bench, drill out the rubber. After you get the rubber out, saw out the collar with the Sawzall. After the collar's out, put your bushings in and repeat the process in reverse to put it all back in. So hopefully this helped you out. I was pretty frustrated. I couldn't find anybody or anyone online that explained how to do this, and actually I mistakenly for a while thought that my rear diff bushings were the actual bushings that come out of the diff to the subframe, not the actual bracket itself. But if you are buying Torque Solutions rear diff bushings, it is for this bracket and this bracket only. If you want to do the subframe, I highly recommend getting the like spacer polyurethane ones, so you don't have to drop the entire subframe out. They're about $150. So hit me up in the comments if you have any questions. Thanks.